Therefore, using Godelier as our reference, in the gift system, the owner of the goods hands over rights, but not full ownership when giving those goods away. And secondly, the receiver does not gain true ownership of the received goods through a simple exchange. This is where the gift system differs from the transaction system. The Barua tribe have what might be termed an archaic matrilineal system. Their ways of doing things might be very different to how other cultures might term normal. But I believe that this gift system exists still in modern cultures. I believe the gift system is very much alive and well in modern culture, and I believe this gift system can be seen in very many different instances in modern life. One of them being the donated bench given to a municipal or public park. In Britain and in many other parts of the world, it is normal for a bench to be given as a memorial to a deceased relative in a public park. So, a deceased person's family may choose to give or donate a bench to a public park. The current generation of park officials must look after this bench. They are obliged to tend this bench. But this is of course not where the story ends. If one looks around a public park, one will easily spot benches that are decades old. Therefore, future generations of park officials have been obliged to look after these benches. It can therefore be said that the family have not given up true ownership of this bench. They have merely ceded rights to it. The debt owed to this family cannot be paid off through one generation of park officials. In this way, this system is very much similar to the Barua matrilineal system, and therefore it is an excellent example of the sociological or anthropological take on gift giving. It is quite normal in many cultures to give items to a charity shop. Customers will shop around and buy these items that were previously owned by another individual. There is a huge difference between, say, for example, a jacket and a piece of underwear in terms of bodily significance with regard to previously owned items. A jacket is removed from the body in that it is separated from the body by several layers, a t-shirt, perhaps a sweatshirt, etc. Therefore, its significance to the body, to the owner, the original owner, is slightly diminished. But a piece of underwear is obviously worn against the body. Therefore, it is very much more associated with the previous owner's body. When an item from a charity shop is purchased, obviously it would have been washed by the charity shop. In this sense, logically, it will have bacteria and skin cells, etc., from the original owner removed. Logically, it will have no connection left to the original owner. But actually, social norms tell us this is completely false. The piece of underwear still has huge ties with the body of the original owner. In this way, it can be said that actually the original owner has ceded rights to this underwear, but actually still retains ownership. In the new owner's eyes, it may take several cycles of the washing machine to remove traces of this original owner, if at all. In this way, I believe the purchase of charity shop items of clothing very much relate to the anthropological take on the gift-giving cycle. This image pertains to organ donation. Somebody who has received a donor organ must take tens of pills a day in order to prevent that organ from being rejected. I also believe that the donation of organs is very much related to the anthropological theory of gift giving. Logically, it could be stated that actually an organ, perhaps a liver, it's really nothing more than meat with blood vessels, cells, nerves and nerve endings, etc. A person's liver becomes diseased, doesn't function as required, and is replaced by a liver from a donor. But actually, there's a lot of research that says that people who have received a donor organ experience personality changes. And it's been noted that these personality changes relate very much to the personality of the person who has donated the organ. Why might this be? Indeed, people may be so averse to acquiring personality from a donor individual that they may be not so keen on taking a donor organ or accepting an organ from certain sorts of people, people with certain track records. If an organ is just a piece of meat that is removed and another one wired back in, then why might this be the case? It may be stated then that the donor has actually ceded rights over this organ, but not full ownership. The recipient doesn't fully own this organ because it contains some of the personality of the donor. The idea of full ownership may well also be connected to the idea of organ rejection. Perhaps it could be stated that the donor has obviously ceded rights, but that they have not been paid back sufficiently enough to cede full ownership. Therefore, they want their gift back. In these ways, it can perhaps be stated that the idea of organ donation and the personality changes involved and the issue of rejection may well be associated with the themes of the anthropological gift theory. So in the last couple of slides, really we've looked at themes relating to ownership. Previous ownership doesn't necessarily have to have negative connotations associated with it. For example, there is a large trend at the moment with vintage clothing. Obviously, these items of clothing must have been worn by somebody in the past. Why might it be good to be associated with people from the past? Certain clothing manufacturers or certain product manufacturers have actually used this to good effect. For example, the brand Howie's produce a line of clothing and bags, satchels called hand-me-down. As you can see from the image, the idea of hand-me-down is to pass items on to new owners and for the stories of those owners to be noted down. One may then feel proud to have owned items that have previously been worn by other people. I think it is useful to look at such concepts when thinking about your gift projects. Ideas and themes associated with gift giving and ownership are very much central to my research here at Northumbria University. I really hope that you've enjoyed this talk, and I wish you the best of luck with the gift giving. Thank you.